Now let's get into talking about the assignment for this week. And this week's assignment I call Instapie. And basically what I want you to do is, starting with the template that I provide you in Canvas, I want you to create a program that will allow you to open images and apply a couple of different filters to them. And what I've given you so far is I've given you the ability to open the file. I've actually written a sample filter for you. I'd like you to at least do something different to it. But you also need to look at the ability to save the file and show the results. A lot of that actually is already functional for you. Let me show you here. This is the code that is actually in Canvas. And you can see here what we've got. I put my images in their own directory. And that way, when it lists the files in that directory, it's all images. So if you create a folder in that directory called images, and put all your images in there, that will work the best. If you want to just use the same directory, all you have to do is change this string to one dot. That says use the current directory that we're in. So some variables, and then I start in with some functions. I'm not using any classes or objects here. This is all functions. So I've got one that lists the files in the directory. I've got another one that is the first filter. Okay, so this actually takes a Python image or a pillow image, and you can see what it does because every single line is commented. So you can see exactly what's going on. No guesswork there. And it allows you to play around and mess with things. And then I've created a main menu function, right, that just shows the menu choices. Press enter to continue is just a user interface thing that I do. So when you press enter, it kind of clears the screen by inserting a lot of line breaks. And then the main program loop actually has some functionality built into it. So this actually shows all the files and takes care of showing you how to select a file and open it. And then the menu 2 option actually applies the first filter. Make sure that you have an image file open. And this is where you would put the other filter code. And this is where you'd put the save code. So if I run this, okay, so here's my program. And this basically is what the code that you have on Canvas will give you. You can see it starts out with no files open, and you have the menu choices. So if I open a file, let's open the buildings file. Okay, so there's that file that we've been playing around with. And it says the file buildings.jpg has been opened. So if I press enter to continue, okay, so now it says this is the file that I have open. So it'll keep track of that. It won't let me do a filter unless I open a file first. So now if I want to apply the filter, I press 2. And that's what the filter does. Basically, it's a filter that takes the channels apart and rotates the channels a little bit. You can kind of see the rotation there, and does some other things. It brightens one up and blurs another one and that sort of thing. Nothing super advanced, but this is the kind of thing that often apps like Instagram use to achieve like a overexposed film or an antique photo kind of look. Like if I wanted to, if I maybe didn't go so hard on the rotation here and I made it tint a little bit yellow as an image, it would look like an antique photo or one that was maybe not taken properly. But that's sort of the idea. And as far as like what qualifies for this assignment. If you wanted to take some of that SpongeBob code and insert and create a meme generator, I'm cool with that. If you want to make up your own filters, I'm very cool with that. Basically, I want you the ability to open an image, apply one of two different filters, and save the image. But I've written a lot of the structural code for you. So mostly I've isolated just the creating the filters and the saving the image part. And one word of caution that I want to give you is you want to make sure that when you're using Pillow and saving an image, that you never ever use the same file name as the original image. Because if you do, Pillow will not ask you if you want to overwrite that file. It will not error out. It will just blow away whatever the original was. And so if you're opening a file, doing something to it, and then saving it on top of that original file, you've lost your original. And the original is always the best copy of something. So you want to be just really mindful. You may even want to think about, can you build in something that prevents the user from using the same file name as the file that was opened? That's really easy to do. And it's a protection against people being able to ruin their originals. But just some thoughts on this. As with all of these last 4 project-based assignments, I want to give you lots and lots of creative freedom. I want to give you lots of room to play around and enjoy using some of these more advanced objects. So the stipulations or the threshold for getting credit for this assignment is pretty low. I just want you to have some fun and enjoy doing something that is maybe a little bit less stressful than some of the earlier assignments in the class. So I hope you have fun, and that's really it for today.